it's okay. I will remove my enjoyment of this.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I could have done? You could have gotten really mad, and then I grab your face by the sides, and I
baby burn it.
vomit the green tea back in your mouth.
I would
like scary movie.
I would have been insanely furious that you were fucking touching me. But
Oh my God, don't touch him.
I would have respected it.
No, you wouldn't.
Like in retrospect.
Yeah,
Sure,
like
okay.
years later.
Yeah,
It would take years of trauma.
after you had killed and buried him.
As he's patting on the top of the grave.
It was pretty funny though.
Good bit. Good bit.
Yeah. Please tell us about the news, please.
Uh,
I want to hear about the Olympics.
I just
You've been teasing it the
I'm
whole
here to
episode.
help
just
you.
get up, cocksuckers. Fucking salute the flag.
I got an embarrassing one to add.
Third Olympics in a row, America takes down the gold medal count, beating China by 1 on the back of women.
Wait, on what is that?
And the gold medal tally as a whole.
Oh, like all time.
It's a nationalistic race for who can get the most gold medals. And the only people who are able to compete are Russia, who's banned, so they barely competed. China in the U.S. And the U.S. has won it since 2008. And then they were losing the entire time, and they won by 1 gold medal.
Great Britain. Yeah.
Was the person who won it aware that it was the determining?
It was a team. It was the volleyball team, the women's volleyball
They
team.
were aware.
Yeah, for sure. On the final day, 3 women's teams won a gold, and they clutched.
Wow.
So anyway, round of applause for women, who sometimes we ostracize with our conversations.
Shout outs to the women's soccer team, Canada women's soccer team.
You're gonna say no, we don't ostracize women.
Nobody cares.
Hey, shout out to Juventus women's soccer.
Hey, shout out fucking
Anyone know?
Manchester, con. All right.
You guys see that Twitter post that the
Oh,
That
no.
was
yeah.
Wait, what?
insane.
That's
so
bad.
the Juventus women's team made a tweet of, I'm not even gonna do it because I'll be screenshot, but pulling their eyes out and wearing a cone on their head and making like what was the remark they made? And it was about, I can't remember. It was about another team, right?
Yeah, I don't know the context either. I just saw the picture and I was like, they shouldn't do
This
that.
sounds like a David Brent joke. This is like Michael Scott. What?
Yeah, it's very
How
Michael
do they-
Scott.
It
yeah.
was like that.
This sounds worse than the Burger King, which said women belong in the kitchen.
This is Michael
Tweet.
Scott's season 1. This is
Yeah.
where they didn't really know how to deal with stuff yet. It was really okay. There it is.
What is that? Oh, and it's a cone that's claiming like it's like a rice farmer hat.
And it's funny.
Dude, look at the emojis. What the?
The only
That's what they tweeted it with.
The only funny part is the emojis they did to match are the baby emojis too.
That is
So
cosmic.
not
And then
only
he
is it
went down the
racist,
same week.
it's racist and homophobic.
Yeah.
They really hit everything this time.
That's pretty sick.
That's like an all-rounder. It's like a miracle supplement for being.
Ben Shapiro, as he loads up his racism Exodia card to get all 5 racism, homophobia, transphobia.
Every time you see a tweet like that on that kind of account, you kind of think like, oh, someone okayed that.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
But then you find out-
someone just said it. No one okayed
And
it.
then you find out that most social media profiles are not that way. It's
You know
not
what
like a
changed me?
boardroom.
What changed me was Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
Because you remember how Zayn got banned?
Yeah.
For because I got him
You
banned.
got him banned.
You got him
Admittedly, there was a Twitter poll and it said whoever gets the most likes changes his name, and I made him change it to meetspin.com.
Yeah.
Don't go there if you're under the age of 18. And I asked
That'll work.
Zeke, who's the social media manager of Golden Guardians, I was like, did you confirm this with anyone? Because like obviously Zeke knew that meetspin.com was a porn site, and I was making Zayn change his tag to a porn site, and he said, no, just me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah. So that's how it goes. Like a lot of times, it's just someone, right?
Yeah.
We always think there's these giant processes behind like all these things happening, even giant corporations. It's usually just like a person who's like, all
just
right.
like a
Someone.
It's just a really tired 23-year-old.
Yeah, all the time.
To be fair, that changed, by the way, because it used to be a slow process, and they would review it all, and then they realized that they would have 1 million followers and 13 likes per tweet with like big brands, like you can imagine Coca-Cola tweeting back in the day, and then Wendy came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say Wendy's changed the game.
And
on
Denny's.
And
those.
people
No,
don't.
Denny's invented this.
Well, whoever did, I don't give a shit.
Denny's
Wendy's
invented this.
popularized it.
No.
Fuck all these corporations, they can suck a fatty. The
Yeah.
fact is that
People
people
try to put my wedding ring in the pancake puppies at Denny's. I am devoted.
you're devoted
to that
Denny's.
brand.
You're devoted to Denny's.
Denny's has the best water at any
Oh, here
restaurant.
he
What?
fucking goes. He's talked about this
What
like
are you
9
talking
times
about?
in his
Real
life.
ones no. Real ones no. It comes in the Coca-Cola glass, and it's
Like
just
the red
ice
one?
water.
The
no,
red
no, no.
Coca-Cola glass?
It's like translucent, kind of green.
Right.
Just because he's lived in
Bro,
Southern
real ones
California.
know. I'm
IHOP
not
is-
even gonna talk to you.
Sorry,
losers about
IHOP
it.
is better than
You know
Denny's.
what's better water? Colorado tap water.
Well, Cherry
First
Creek
of all,
did
I said of any restaurant, you don't listen ever.
It's true.
Second of all,
the state
yeah,
Colorado
yeah,
restaurant.
let me go to Colorado for water. Yeah, Aiden.
Hey,
I'll
when
just get in my
slime
car.
hydrates
that's what
enough,
I'm
his
saying.
piss is about as good as Denny's water.
That
Don't
is not
take it back.
true.
Take that shit back.
I think IHOP's better
my,
than Denny's.
My piss is disgusting.
Do you think? Is
As a
I-
restaurant?
Yeah, IHOP's better than
No
Denny's.
shot.
Relish in that.
No shot.
Yeah,
You think IHOP is better than Denny's?
IHOP's better than Denny's.
You're smoking
Look,
reefer.
All right, now you're
real,
smoking
real,
reefer.
real shit.
You're
They're both,
smoking on penis, brother.
they're both
Is
trash.
everyone against me?
Yeah.
I think they're both like interchangeable. I like what Denny's does to the idea of Americana. I go there for the vibe because I want to pretend I'm living in Fallout New Vegas.
Nothing's more sad than American culture just being big plants.
That's exactly it.
You
I
guys
know.
like Waffle House? Where do you guys sit on Waffle House?
I've never been.
I've never been there either.
Let's waffle up after this, huh? I'm
let's-
not a
well,
waffle.
not after this.
Fuck
That's not
up.
gonna happen.
I'm gonna waffle
Southern
after
fans
this.
will know Waffle House is pretty good.
You are the most well-traveled.
Me and Eamon talked about this. You guys want to do a little thought process? We talked about countries we live in, not the U.S. Because I said I would never live. No offense, to anyone who lives there. Shithole.
That's true. You said all that.
Wait, why do you hate Sweden? Oh, you've been.
I've been to Sweden several times.
You're also Swedish.
I am half Swedish.
Yeah.
And I
Your
could
last
against living there because
because
everyone
you hate them.
This
well,
is my
the
gambit.
West
Here,
sucks.
have you start your company in Sweden. I move.
Yeah, and then we lose 90% of our income in taxes.
It's true.
All right.
Is that what you want?
Look, I'm not saying I'm fiscally conservative, but Sweden pushes me there. What's funny is
Sweet. It's doing nothing. Just over there.
Sweden is so they have such good social programs that my uncle came over one time, and this is peak 2020 Democratic preliminaries, nominations, all that.
One of your like weird French-speaking uncles.
It's my Swedish uncle.
Okay, so no.
No,
Blue, red, white hat. He's a mustache twirled.
he's
That's
yeah,
him, right?
yeah, that's the guy. And
A big baguette in his hand.
this is
again.
He's the guy from the end of
he's
Z
not
World
French.
video.
To be clear,
the big herring in his
He kept
hand.
asking us to watch
So
Moulin
here's the
Rouge.
this is peak Bernie. This is peak Bernard Sander, and
Diamond Ned Flanders.
he had heard about Bernie, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, Bernie's a socialist," because he's like a conservative Swede. And I went through all of Bernie's policies, and it was like the most conservative far right Swede was like half that.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like because it's such like basic shit, and he's like, "Oh." Oh, I
And
thought
it's
he
like,
was-
oh yeah, here, so we clutch automatic rifles, and that's
Yeah.
our far right. We're like, we need these really bad. He's just like, oh, that's
'Cause to, like,
disgusting.
To some Americans, Bernie's like Che Guevara. Like he's bringing communism. He's
Yeah.
taking away our
Whenever,
guns.
That
whenever
is
we,
propaganda.
whenever we go here, like when Slime told the Republican story, there was a guy in the comments. He's like, "Well, actually, that girl had a ton of really decent points, and you guys are blah blah." blah. I was sitting there just laughing. I
Yeah.
was like, "What?"
Yeah, dude. You're commenting. Look at you.
Shut up, man.
So I'd never live in Sweden. I
Well,
would be a Japan.
where
Isn't
would
this
you?
about where we would live?
Yeah.
Why would? Yeah.
Japan.
I would go to Japan too.
Japan, 100%. Yeah.
Do you guys, when you guys say that, do you guys take it seriously? Like, yeah, I would move there. I would like learn the language. I would be down.
Buckley, by the way, has never been.
I don't think I could ever. I don't think I would move to Japan.
I've never been to Japan in my life. I'm still there.
But Ludwig
That's
is so
good.
beautiful.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it would just be annoying. Like if I travel anywhere that's like more traditional,
Yeah.
or like further away from Japan, for instance, if I went to like further away from Tokyo, it's hard to fucking.
Admittedly, one of the good things about Sweden, everyone speaks English. There's no point learning
I mean,
Swedish.
people speak English like everywhere.
think you'd be cool with it not knowing a bunch of people who live there already,
No, that would suck.
but you would do it.
This is a question. If you had to pick somewhere,
I
where
would
Oh,
would
if
you
you
go?
had to.
I would
Okay,
go
okay.
to Macau and be a casino rat.
If Cutie and
I've been to
Slime,
Macau.
that's actually lit.
Yeah.
That's
Macau.
lit.
That's my idea.
Macau
You're
is
just-
like
You're just some doper version of your dad.
Yeah. Dude, I am my parents' kid. That is
But you don't hate your dad, but you hate those parts of him.
parts of my dad I hate, but I have smoothed over those parts because I treat people with respect most of the
One time, me and Anthony were walking in where were we? We were in Oakland. We were walking on the street, and we passed by a homeless person.
This
And
is
Anthony
true.
looks at me and he goes, I want that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Dude.
No. It wasn't just a homeless person. It was a guy sleeping on the concrete comfortably.
yeah. So
He
out
looked
no
so.
home.
He looked like he was a fucking baby in a toilet paper commercial. Like,
Do you know what you need to be?
You're saying comfortable?
yeah.
Instead of becoming a gambling degenerate who loses your money and lives on the streets, you need to be just like a monk and just leave your
Yeah.
worldly possessions and then do it in a spiritual manner
You're halfway there.
so you can
Yeah.
get some enlightenment.
But how is that like
Hair
fun
joke.
It's
at all?
It's not, but it's the fact that you can live without any worldly possessions and you're
Oh.
already bald. Holy shit!
You've no fucking hair, man.
bald in the morning.
What time is it? What time is it, Nick? But please, what time is it?
10 a bald M.
I can't believe
You're listening to Baldy in the news.
You would like that better than Macau, I think. Cause
I can't believe you set that up.
Macau is just bigger Vegas, and except every room is a crowd of cigarettes.
Yeah, Macau is a fucked up place.
I think he wants to go to Macau or Vegas because his dad did Vegas, so he might as well do.
No,
Macau.
I just know what Vegas is like. Macau is just Vegas.
Like that's what I mean by your dad did. I feel like you've done it with him, and also like because you live.
Yeah, I guess. But even knowing that, like someone who has not like understood Vegas, they would figure out about Macau, and it's like, oh, I just want the crack. I
Yeah.
don't want to drink the
I'm not
coffee.
very internationally traveled. I've only been to London and Japan. If I'm not mistaken. However, I do really want to go to Norway.
Why?
So random.
It's really
Because you know
beautiful.
why? It's a stupid reason. It's a
Is it
stupid-
because they pronounce it Norgay?
I want to go there. I want to hear someone say it and clap and be like, "Where I'm from, that's crazy."
Dude, you should know what you just said.
No, the reason why it's so dumb. I was playing GeoGuessr and I got dropped in the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my whole life. I've never seen anything like it.
Someone's like,
In,
why are
in
you
no,
here?
in no like stock photo or desktop background or painting have I seen a place as beautiful. And I wrote down the coordinates and I was like, one day I'll go there.
You should tweet out the screenshot of the coordinates.
Okay, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
find it. I'll go find it.
It'll be like a mecca for the yard viewers, a second mecca
Yeah, the
after
second
the
mecca.
poop house.
Yeah.
The craziest
Yard meetup.
Smash tournament I've ever been to is I went to a cabin in northern Norway in the Arctic Circle, and there was a tournament there. I went to it.
I was invited to that. a
I'm
couple
pretty
years
sure this
ago,
is the plot
but
to
I bailed.
Midsommar.
Yeah, it was yeah, it was kind of like that.
I was invited to that and I bailed because I was like, I don't want to go to that place.
You would have loved it.
I think I would have.
Yeah.
And now and then COVID
I
happened.
want to do. I was supposed to travel to like 7 countries the year that COVID hit. I was so excited. Fuck.
Dude, I tell people that, but I hate telling people it because I would tell like Joey the anime guy and C-Dog Connor. These are people like YouTubers in Japan, and I'd be like,
Nippon desu.
and I talk to them and I'm like, I was gonna go to Nippon Des, and then they
Is
go.
that what you say?
He said, and I quote, "I ruin everything." and I never
Fuck
felt
yeah.
worse about myself,
Fuck
so
yeah.
I never said it again.
I love shaming people for. I love gatekeeping.
Yeah.
I think gatekeeping is fun and cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do think that?
It
I
is
do-
because everybody wants to go to
I'm more
Japan.
diehard though. I don't know. I don't know if you guys know this. I applied for the JET program out of college.
But you've never been there, right?
Never been there.
Dude,
What's the
Ludwig
JET
has talked
program?
about Japan
I
more than
know.
anyone I
That's what
know
I'm
and has
saying.
never been there,
The
but it makes
JET-
sense, right?
The JET program is a program where you go to Japan for 1 or 2 years to be an English teacher, and you're paid like $30,000 a year
yeah.
and you live there.
Yeah.
And it's a
pretty
program you have to apply for. It's somewhat difficult to get into. It's like 40-50% get in. I did not get it. And so, but if I'd gotten it, I would have gone.
Ludwig rolled up and was like, "Hey, I want to go to Nippon Des. Who I gotta talk to in English to go there?"
I'm wearing fucking shorts and fanny pack Crocs.
You got your Promised Neverland manga fanny pack.
Sir, there's a global pandemic. Can you say Ludwig wants to fly?
This is before I watch anime.
No.
Yeah.
No, me and Ludwig have been talking about going there for. I mean,
Dude, I'm dying.
it's been like almost 3 years.
Except
Fiending.
you went.
I just went.
I would love to, bro. Please. Inject it in my veins.
What was that?
That was
what was that?
what?
What did you just do?
Audio listeners, I'm trying to help them out. I'm trying to get them more
He did a
interaction.
really
that
weird
helps
thing
them?
with his tongue.
Yeah, more like
You look
No,
like
no.
you look like the Joaquin Phoenix
What
Joker.
point
It's
were
like
you
a-
trying to make by doing that?
There's no, guys, listen. As is as his guy,
Back me up here. I got nothing.
it was a tactile thing.
It's a
right?
tactile thing.
You're
Tactical
supposed
thing.
to once
Tactile or
again,
tactical?
like
There's two
I
words.
mentioned with Coinbase, you're supposed to bring the phone to your lips
Right.
and do that,
And kiss it.
and then Ludwig will also do that, and it's like an experience.
If anyone has a kid, by the way, you should always introduce them to as much music as possible because that's how they get perfect pitch.
Why would you go from kids
I don't-
to
I don't-
licking the screen with
What are
your
you-
face on it?
What are you bouncing around between right now?
Here,
Cock in a hard place.
I'm gonna make the transition very clear in my brain because it's a weird transition if I don't. I was thinking about when I was a kid and like do you guys remember the first time you saw porn online? Do you remember what it was and what age you were?
yeah,
Yep.
I can.
So we're doing boys talk. We're doing
Hey.
some guy talk, huh?
You guys
Well,
ever
both that-
hold in your penis and thinking about girls?
I will listen to me. I will tell you guys something.
Real quick,
That-
Cutie told me she listened to the pod, and she's like, I rolled my eyes when you guys started talking about your count, your body count. And she's like,
I rolled
"Such a
my eyes in my
walkabout."
head too.
This is that, but I'm down. Slime, go
No,
on.
this isn't because this is embarrassing,
Sure.
and this I think is pretty
Talk
funny.
about the embarrassing porn you watched.
One time, it was the days of LimeWire, guys. If you're ancient heads in the chat, will understand what that means. But basically,
Oh, I just wanted to listen to crankthat.soldierboy.exe.
you had to, I had a dial-up connection when I was 14 years old, and I had to download porn videos on LimeWire at 5 kilobytes
you
per second.
had to crank a big machine to get them to run.
I'm not kidding. It would take, if I wanted to watch like a minute of porn video, I would have to sit there for an hour and do other shit while I was, and that's for video,
You have to
right?
watch an infomercial first.
So one time man, this is so, dude, this would have changed the course of my life. I want you to know that. Basically, there was this girl that lived across the street. She was visiting my neighbor, from a big city, and she was like. She was like a problem kid, and she was like sanctioned to our shitty little town as like punishment for the summer, so she'd stay out of trouble. What she ended up doing was like making friends with everyone on the block and like trying to get cigarettes. Basically, just back up the old tricks, right? It's like 14, I was 14. Anyway, she fucking. I watch porn. Okay, this is the first time.
14?
No, okay, sorry. This is the first time anything ever happened afterwards.
Okay,
if that
gotcha.
makes
Got it.
sense, right? So shit comes out of my dick, right? Oh, that's crazy. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I'm like, well, whatever. And as soon as this happens, by the way, I'm alone for like a week at my house. That's how summers went. I sometimes just get left alone. And then all of a sudden there's a knock on the door. Who the fuck could that be? I go answer the door. It's her. Her name was Amber. She's standing like this. Like I'm wasting her time. And it's this other kid who lived on the street who was like a little troublemaker too. And basically he said, and I shit you not, said, right here, she said she wouldn't suck your dick for $10. And I bet her she wouldn't, and she wants to.
How old are you?
I'm 14.
What?
14 as well. That's right. And she's again standing there like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, just tapping. And
That's funny, Vivid.
and
Faker.
dude. And I'm like, oh, and mind you, I had literally. No, it wasn't. Literally, like, I thought, like, or something like that. Like, I was in trouble. Like, watching porn as a teenager, I'm in trouble. Ah! And so I'm just like going over there with the fucking, like I'm Ludwig.